All right, so the birth story. I started off by asking my parents, the questions, how did the birth go, how did you meet? And I just got to this conclusion of it's pretty plain and boring. Because I've lived here my whole life, lived in the same house, same room, and so it wasn't that big of an influence on me. So I was born in Orange County in St. Joseph Hospital, but I've stayed here my whole life. So I wanted to go a little bit of different direction and go with three influential factors and events that took place in my life that I carry with me every day. And the first one, number one, is learning from others' mistakes. This has been a huge role in my life just because usually the consequences don't fall back on you when you learn from others' mistakes. The story that goes with this was in high school, my freshman year. It was the pivotal point of, am I going to party or am I not? And this one football player decided to, many had, but decided to go out drinking and go to a party, and he ended up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning and ended up having to have his stomach pumped and was on probation from school and was in the hospital for 2 days in critical condition because it was that bad. And I looked at that and I was like, I don't want that. So I decided to go against that, and I never had alcohol until I was 21, which was actually pretty awesome because I was fine without it and I still had fun. My second point was what my health teacher said, and this was freshman year, and to this point I had never heard a professor cuss. And he stood up in the class towards the end of the semester, because I feel like every teacher or professor wants to lead the class with something, and so you can expand on and grow on it, and he said, "Own your shit." And so I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. So of course everyone perked up and started listening because no one had heard a professor cuss before. It was freshman year in high school. So, but what that symbolized was own your mistakes, and part of what you're doing, be responsible for the actions or consequences that come with it. Because up to that point, that was not me. If I made a mistake or something was my fault, I'd push it off. I tried to put it on someone else or give them the blame, or just as far away as from that consequence I could. That's where I would go. So that really taught me to take pride and ownership in what I was doing in life and making sure I was making the correct decisions. And my third point was a little bit of knowledge my grandfather gave me. And he said, fail often and fail fast. So what this means is the more failures you're a part of, the quicker you will learn. Because when you fail, you're going to scrutinize that performance or that event more than what happened if you were to have a victory or succeed. So in failing more often, you're able to look at that, learn from your mistakes, and shoot right to the top, and then just keep rolling and going to the top and learning all these mistakes for what can make you better and your performance is better. So those are my 3 points that have helped me, that I carry with seriously every day. I think of those 3 points, and they have made me who I am today. Thank you.
Good job, Jerry. Thank you.